Okay, 2024 season starts now. First of all, I want to thank everybody who is liked, subscribed, everything that helps me out so much on the channel. I do appreciate you guys a ton. So please, if you like what I'm doing, please spread the word. Tell somebody about it. Keep hitting the like button. I do appreciate that kind of stuff. I also have to thank my sponsors for this year. I do have a new one, a little bit of a shakeup. But first of all, Dark Ace Apparel. Dark Ace Disc Golf. If you go on the website, you'll probably find a ton of gnarly stuff. There's a sick drop tomorrow. But George keeps me looking great on the course. And I got to say, Team Dark Ace, y'all are absolutely amazing. Keep being awesome people. I also have a new retail sponsor. It is Evolution Disc Golf this year. I'll have them linked below. Please check them out for anything you need regarding disc golf. Team Ace in One, another team member there. Adam does some fantastic dye work. He can do more than that too. If you can dream it, he can make it. But give you a taste of what he can do. He made that for me. He dropped this off to me the other day. His signature swirl pattern, and does a little more than, or did a little more with the axolotl in the middle. But not all that he does. He can do some outstanding custom work. So just let him know. He'll take care of you. You can find him on Instagram. And lastly, back on Team MaxWax again this year, here in the Michigan winters. Grip gets a little bit crappy, so it's nice to have MaxWax on the fingertips to make sure that the water doesn't make a bit of difference. So, bag last year has pretty much maintained itself. There are a few little shakeups here and there. But let's take a look at this. We're going to start with putters. First shakeup, I was putting with Bleaks from Doomsday for a little over a year now. I absolutely love them. They elevated my game so much because it was the first putter that I had that flew dead straight. Man, were those things amazing. And having a all MVP Axiom bag for about 7 years now, moving to something that wasn't was a little strange. But now that Simon put out the Pixel, or MVP Axiom put out the Pixel, this is the gyro equivalent to my Bleaks. Oh my God, are these things dead straight. Absolutely love them. The hand feel is almost identical to the Bleak, except for maybe a micro bead. These are exactly worth the hype. They are fantastic. This putter, gotta try it out, guys. Next in the bag, these three are staying the same from last year. Envies. I have a straight to understable, more straight to slightly overstable, and then a Neutron Soft for overstable. I realize that the new runs aren't quite as overstable as this old patent pending run, but I need that's an excellent putter to have. Stands up to the wind quite a bit. Also, same as last year, the Glitch. If you need a super floaty shot, jump putt, anything, the Glitch is great for that. And here's another shakeup. I took out the Entropy because the Tempo came out. So whenever anybody asks, I always describe the Tempo as a seasoned zone. It's not super beefy, which I miss that about the Entropy, but the Tempo actually does a great job. The reason I switched to this from the Entropy is because this is so much more comfortable to forehand. And I can deal with the lack of overstability with a little more hyzer on there. Although I would like to see MVP put out a glow version of this, because their glow stuff tends to be a little more overstable. I would love to see an Eclipse Tempo. Please make an Eclipse Tempo. And that's all for putters. Most of it stayed the same. Pixels and Tempo in, Entropy and Bleaks are out. Let's take a look at mids. All right, so as for mids, my go-to mid is the Hex, and most of these have stayed the same. This one was in the bag last year. This one is beat up. It is flippy now. It actually will get a bit more turn and doesn't really come back a lot. I have to give it some good hyzer to let it flip up and then kind of finish off to the left. This is my straight to understable-ish one. And then I've got this one, which is a fresh version of the Neutron Hex. This one is probably more overstable compared to, the first one. It'll hold straight. It will not really turn all that much. And then I have a glow one. The glow ones I'm going to cycle. They are the most overstable run out of the box. but eventually they break in and they just become like any of the other ones. I love the feel of the Eclipse plastic, and I'm glad that they are more overstable because it's a nice little complement to the other ones. Next, in case that Glow Hex isn't going to really turn the corner like I need it to, I've got a Reactor. And Reactor feels very good in the hand. It feels kind of like the Hex, but it's going to hook a little bit quicker, and it's not going to be as flippy. Next, oh my gosh, I love this disc so much, and I hate that they stopped pressing them. The Theory. This is my straight to understable mid-range. If I need a tunnel shot, if I need to put something on an Annie that's not going to come back, this is it. I know they have the uplink, but I don't care. The Theory is just an amazing disc, and I wish they would start making them again. I hoard them whenever I find them. So I've probably got a stack of about 6 in the closet, and I would love to have more. And finally, for super overstable mids, I have the Pyro. Pyro, you know, it's going to stand up to the wind. If I need a good hyzer shot, you know, 250, 260 more, and then inside of that, good hyzer shot with that. This is my go-to for that, even though it kind of encroaches on the range for my favorite disc, which we'll get to in just a second. But that is it for mids, just the 4 there: Hex, Reactor, Theory, and Pyro. So let's take a look at the fairway drivers. All right, let's talk about my favorite class of discs, fairway drivers. As you guys know, as you've seen in the videos, I throw the heck out of resistors. So I've always got 3 on me, and they're in slightly different stabilities. This is Old Gnarly. Old Gnarly has been in my bag for a long, long time. A lot of ink on the back. My God, is this a workhorse? This Neutron is a patent pending run resistor. This has been beat to the point where it will get a little bit of turn, but it's not going to fully flip over. It's going to finish out. It's going to have that bite to finish out. This is probably my go-to if I really got to kind of pimp a gap, you know, like where I really got to put it down a tunnel. This is my go-to. After that, I've got Proton Gnarly. This I reach for probably more than any of them. This is my favorite run of resistors. Sweet Jesus, MVP, please make more Proton resistors. The people want it. They're going for like 40 plus on the secondary market because they only made 1 run of these in 2016 for a circuit event. And this is another one like the Theory that if I find it, I hoard it. There's a stack of them in that closet that I'm not moving off of because this is my all-time favorite disc to throw. This thing is just a do-anything disc. And then finally, the Eclipse resistor. Another gnarly. This is new gnarly. This is a beefcake for sure. Super beefcake. So if I really got to turn a corner, I'm going to do a skip shot. That's kind of the go-to for that. But after the resistors, probably, I don't know, my second favorite disc in the bag right now is the Crave. And I, again, carry 3 of these just like last year. And 2 of these are going to look identical to the ones I had last year because they are identical. So the Sarah Hokum ones, Flippy. This one has been in there for a while. This I can throw and it is going to turn and it might pan out. But this thing is the Flippy boy. After that, I have this one, and this is my favorite. It's getting to the point where it needs to be cycled, but this is a Fission one, and the Fission one, when it starts off, it is dead straight with a little bit of a fade, a little bit of a finish. And as time goes on, this thing is growing to turn, and it might come back to center. I do have to hyzer flip this one more often than not now to kind of keep it on that straight path. And finally, this guy right here. Proton Crave. These are probably the more overstable ones that I've found. So keep this for the overstable complement to the other ones. This thing going to go dead straight, and then it's going to kind of finish out at the end. But same distance out of all, really. But yeah, I love that disc. If I got a tunnel that's 300 plus, probably going with the Crave. Now for Flippy, I have the Insanity. This one is going to go out, turn, come back to center. It's a little bit longer than the Crave. This one, my old Zam Stamp Oktoberfest, this is from 2015, wow. This one right here is another one that is going to go out, flip, and then slowly just keep turning. It might pan to finish, but it's going to finish to the right. And then this one right here is, I think it's like 158 The numbers have worn off of it, at least that I wrote on there. I think this is in the 150s. This sucker is going to go and just stay to the right. This is for like long anhyzer shots. And then finally, another one of my favorite discs, the Tesla. This is one that I lost one from last year. It was my favorite one. It's been in my bag forever, but it is in a pond. It's probably been dug out by now. At in Peoria, I lost it last year at Ledgestone. But anyways, I have my old patent pending run one. This one is going to hold straighter much longer before it finishes out. So longer, basically like I would say a longer of the neutron resistor that I have. But still going to finish. And then there's this one. This is the one that I bought to replace the one I lost in the pond at Ledgestone. This is one of the brand new ones. It feels like it's got a little bit more of a shoulder to it, the curve on there, which I don't care for, but it's minimal compared to the old patent pending runs. Nothing beats the patent pending runs. But this one is just a max weight. I wanted it to be a beefcake to kind of like be what the one that I lost was. So yeah, my cool Dead Sexy Maxi Die one is gone, but this one right here is kind of taking its place pretty well. Again, a little bit over 300 feet on a hyzer, does pretty well for the Tesla. But that is it for my fairway drivers. So let's switch gears and go to the distance drivers. All right, so let's get on to the distance drivers. We're going to start with one of the slower ones. So the Zenith. I keep this in here because it mimics one of my all-time, in fact, the first MVP disc that I literally ever bought. Because this run of them, the early run, the stock stamp, they actually had some flip to them. I know more recent runs have a little bit less, especially the Twisty Jame ones. Oh my God, those are like, it's like throwing a motion. They're insanely overstable. But this run flipped and then would finish out. It would like turn and come back to center almost. It kind of felt like a seasoned Wraith out of the, like right off the shelf. So I keep this in here because if I ever lose this, I don't know what I'll do. This thing is a bomber. This is an early run fission photon. It's not one of the board flat ones. It's the ones that came out, I think they were second run. You can see it does have some dome to it. And this fission plastic is something that they don't use anymore. To my knowledge, everything is a little bit different. I think they had to stop with this because of either scarcity or cost. But this was when fission was wonderful. Fission is still pretty great, but this stuff was unparalleled. This thing is a bomber. I think it's a 163. This thing will go up, flip, turn, and then come back kind of to center. Or if I put it on an Annie, it's going to hold that Annie. It'll hold a hyzer. If I put it on a pretty steady hyzer, this disc is amazing, and it does not come out if water is in the equation. That's when the Zenith comes out. And then there's this, my other photon, a neutron photon, patent pending run. This thing is my go-to for distance forehands. I absolutely love this disc because the profile is so flat. And I love flat. That's kind of what drew me to MVP more than anything. Like, I know that they've tried to add some dome to, like, I don't know, the time lapse. Not a fan. I love nice flat discs, which is why I love the resistor, why I love the Tesla. They just make it so much easier and more comfortable to forehand. So this right here, if I have a distance forehand shot, neutron photon is it. And then for real, like the distance drivers, the big boys, I have octanes still, and in 3 different stabilities and in levels of being beaten up. This one right here is my favorite. I love this disc. This was in the video last year. This is a prism, or not a prism, a proton resistor, and this thing is a 165, if I'm not mistaken, and loaded with glitter. This run was so amazing. Oh my gosh. This thing will turn and then come back a little bit. You have to put it on a little bit of a hyzer flip to get it to stay straight. This thing is an absolute bomber. I put this in the hands of people that, have a bigger arm than me. Hey, buddy. And they can send that thing a mile. Next, instability is going to be a fission octane. This one is max weight. And I love these things because they beat in over time, and they kind of start to reach where this one is. This one right here is still overstable, but it's starting to get a little bit of that turn. So I need to give it a little more hyzer. The other day I threw this thing and it didn't stop. it went way further than I expected. So these things, when they get seasoned, absolute bombers. And then beefcake. This the run of Neutron octanes that they did over the last couple of years came out much, much flatter than the other ones. You probably won't be able to tell compared to the other ones because I didn't hold those up. But this thing is an absolute beefcake. So over 300 feet, obviously, but it's not turning over unless you have a serious headwind. And it is going to finish left. And this is good for like skip shots too, actually. It's got such overstability. If I give it that hyzer and kind of, it's going to hook and go where I want it to go, hopefully. But that's the end of my distance drivers. So I know last year there was a little segment of me, what are you playing around with? What's going to be possibly in or out of the bag? And I have nothing this year. I feel like going into this season, everything feels pretty solid. I'm going to cycle. I have another Fission Crave coming. I've got, more glow hexes. I've got all this stuff that's coming. Adam's doing some dye work for me. Stay tuned for that. I'll post some pics. But yeah, there's really nothing that's going to cycle. Well, I guess nothing that's on deck, that could make a big spot or fit a spot in the bag. Everything is going to stay pretty much as is. Again, thanks everybody for watching throughout the year. I do appreciate everything, all the likes, the subscribes, the comments. It all means a lot. So if, post below. Post underneath here, what's in your bag this coming season? Give me a rundown. I want to see what you're throwing. I'll make some comments on there once I see what you got and see what I'm thinking about what's in your bag. Maybe there's some gaps. I can make some suggestions. So thanks again. Appreciate it. And keep watching.